Time now to talk about Liberty Cross Country. This past weekend, the men's and women's teams both competing in Gardner-Webb down in Boiling Springs, North Carolina. And, Coach, it was a preview of what's to come here in a couple of weeks.
Well, we hope not. We hope not. We ended up second and third, and if that's a preview of our finish, I'll certainly be disappointed. But it was a preview. We got to see the course, and we had about an inch of rain the night before, and it was kind of humid during the race. And we were kind of going to get we weren't going to try to run real hard, but we were going to try to get a good experience. And High Point really stepped up. They looked very impressive. They will undoubtedly be a big challenge this year. I think they have the best team on both the men and women's side that they've had in a long time. So we'll see how the season unfolds. But right now I think they kind of stamped themselves as a favorite, even though we were picked on the men's side early on. But we'll see.
When we talk about previewing of things to come, we're looking at the course, and you mentioned the rain. How much does the rain affect a cross-country course, and is it good to be a little bit damp out there?
Well, I think in this case it slowed down the course a lot. The times weren't really very fast. First time we ran on it. I think they did set course records. They ran on that for the conference that Gardner-Webb used to be in back in '06. They had their conference championship there, and I think the men and women both set the course record. But as an example, Letitia, who won the girls' race for Coastal, ran 17:17 last week and ran 18:09 this week. So we know it was running kind of slow, but because it was damp and the grass was high and those things. But it's the same for everybody, so the times don't really matter when you're looking at a meet like that.
JC finished third in the women's race. How great did she run to finish third? And just speak to the women's group and how they did.
Well, she's a contender to challenge for winning the conference. Letitia looks very fit right now, and that could be good or bad. Sometimes the super fit ones are fit early and fade a little bit late. But we'll see. JC's training really well, and I'm not worried about our top spot. We ran without Jessie, who's coming off an injury. She's training again now, but that made everybody behind her. She's usually our third girl, so everybody behind her, or second or third, behind her had to move up a spot. And that's what was encouraging in the women's race. Our girls who were fourth and fifth were the two I was most worried about this year, and they ended up 13th and 15th. And if we can go to conference and get 13th and 15th out of our fourth and fifth girl, we've got a shot, because I feel like we have three girls that can run top 10. And so I don't know. It's pre-conference doesn't mean that much, but it gives you a little bit of an insight. And we got a little hope then on the girls' side that maybe we can challenge.
The men's side finished second. What did you see from your male runners?
Well, what was really interesting was that out of the top 20 finishers, 8 were from High Point, 6 were from Liberty, 4 were from Campbell, and 2 were from Coastal, and nobody else had anybody in the top 20. So it's really almost a conference of haves and have-nots, kind of, when you talk about cross country. Of course, 5 guys count, and we had a few issues, things that didn't go the way we wanted for various reasons. I would have to admit that High Point took us out of our race plan a little bit because they went out so hard, and we were, I think that pulled us out a little too hard too, and basically almost everybody in the race died. But that's what happens when you go out hard usually, and I'm hoping we'll run a little smarter the next time we run. We get to see them and a lot of other good schools here in another week, and we want our season to be one that we kind of progress into gradually, because nothing really matters until middle of October. And so we're trying to just figure ourselves out. We did have 2 freshmen in our top 3. So that's and 3 freshmen in our top 6. So we need some more experience there, and they're learning what it is to run in college. Our conference looks a lot better than it's ever been. I think the top 10 at conference this year will be superior to the top 10 in the past. The winner may not be, quite as good as some of them we've had in the past, like Shalanger or McDougal, but I would say that 10th place is probably going to be the best we've ever seen in the conference.
All right, Brent, we appreciate your time. Have a great weekend, and good luck next weekend.
Thank you.
That's head cross-country coach Brant Tolsma. I'm Alan York for the Liberty Flames Sports Network.